Well, hey, thanks for tuning in to CBS 19 Plus, where on Wednesdays we wear pink. I got my pink blazer with me, and you're going to see a lot of pink coming towards us, especially today and tomorrow and even on Friday, because our temperatures are going to get hot. So, I mean, it's very apparent. Most of East Texas, if not all of East Texas, is under an excessive heat warning. So that is extended until 8 p.m. tonight. We're going to see heat indices just above 110. And that's why we're really trying to caution you about this heat, because it's going to get hot, especially tomorrow as well. So a string of days with some dangerous heat, well, it takes a toll on your body. And that's why we're really trying to emphasize staying outdoors really in general, because it's going to get hot. And then we've got that heat advisory down in southern parts. They've got that heat advisory until 7 p.m. on Thursday. So even if the excessive heat warning does expire, we still got that heat advisory that'll be going on until at least Thursday night. And I have an inkling that there's a potential that may get upgraded and that excessive heat warning may be extended, because we're going to see triple-digit days for sure tomorrow. So it's going to get hot, and we're probably going to see some heat warnings going up with that. So when we're talking about these excessive heat warnings and heat advisories, the reason we're really trying to caution you is because of heat illnesses. Heat illnesses are very big, especially around these parts. And so knowing the proper signs and symptoms to help you diagnose those heat exhaustions and heat strokes really helps you and your loved ones stay safe. So if you don't know the symptoms, well, I've got them up on the screen, just full screen for you to see. Faint or dizziness and throbbing headache. And typically you'll see heat exhaustion. There's still extreme symptoms, but heat stroke, well, we've got a lot more severity with those, and we may have to take some other measures by calling 911 depending on how severe it really is. So either way, making sure you notice these signs of excessive sweating, no sweating, or cool, clammy skin and red hot, dry skin, and even just nausea and vomiting. Well, those are some things that we've got to watch for, especially your elderly neighbors, or just people in your family that are of older age, and even children and even your pets. We've got to watch these different symptoms, because the last thing we want is for someone we know to deal with these heat illnesses. So whether you see someone going through these, well, you can either call 911 or you can just get them to a cool place. Make sure you're drinking water. Limit your exposure outside. The peak heating of the day is about 3:30 to 5:30. So if you can avoid being outside at that point in time, well, that'll really help you beat the heat in a way, and try and drink that water the night before, so that by the time you get out and you get going, well, you're hydrated enough to sustain through the day. Be like me. I keep my water bottle with me all the time, because it is hot in Texas, and I know I've got to stay hydrated. And so you should want to take those measures too, to make sure that you beat those heat illnesses. But we're talking about us, what we should do. We got to talk about our pets too. We got to make sure they're safe, especially in the summer, because they want to enjoy the summer fun things that we've got going on. So when we're talking about too hot to trot, we really are talking about, well, what's going on down on the pavement, on your sidewalks. If you go and hold your hand down on your driveway and you hold it there for 5 seconds and it's too hot for your hand, well, imagine what it feels like for your pet. So you don't want to take them outside, especially during the peak hours of sunlight. We don't want to take them out during that time. Maybe wait till it gets cooler. But just so you can see what it's like for them when they're out there trotting about on the sidewalk, well, if it's 85 degrees on concrete and asphalt, that's 105 and 130. So that's what they feel on their bare paws going on. So that's very hot, and they could suffer from burns on their paws too that may take a while for them to recover. So we've got to be careful with that. I mean, even look at 90 and 95. By the time 95 is the temperature, which again, in Texas, that's kind of normal for us, especially during the summer and the peak summer heat. Well, 140 and 155, that's what it feels like. So again, make sure you're taking those extra steps just to help your pets out, especially with this heat. And what's going on up in the atmosphere? I mean, we've got a lot of things going on, and I know you've probably heard the term heat dome, heat wave. Well, that bullseye of red that you saw just kind of trickling about and moving eastward and then slowly fizzling out, that's what our heat dome is. And so we've got this ridge of high pressure that's just building on top of us, and it's a very amplified pattern. And I say amplified because it's very large and very long in its pattern. So because of that, it gives us a lot of room to build and build. And with that building, well, we get heat attached to it. So this is that ridge of high pressure, and slowly that bullseye red moves on to the east, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to feel it for today and even tomorrow. So we've got a zonal pattern ahead. I wanted to mention that up there. And with that zonal pattern, well, then we'll start to get some cooler in Texas fashion, cooler temperatures for the summer. And then we even got a few rain chances that'll help us give some relief for the heat. So that 6 to 10 day outlook, above average favored when we're talking about rain. Above average is what we'll see, and especially going into next week, you'll see those rain chances start to pop up for the next couple of weeks or days, and those will be something that you see. So even most of the Midwest has this above average rainfall, which is nice considering these hot temperatures that we've had. And even with, well, the above average rainfall, we got to talk about above average temperatures, which we're not with this bullseye that we've seen of very, very above normal temperatures, but it is summer. And it's Texas. And I've got to mention that always, because we can't forget it's going to get hot down here. So we have above average temperatures, but it's not going to be super extreme like we've seen this last week. So we get some relief from that. And if you are headed out to the best air show I've heard, well, it's the Rose City Air Fest. Gates open at 2 o'clock, and it'll be 94 degrees just by that time. So make sure you are bringing some water, or even those cooling towels. If you were at the fishing derby this Saturday, bring one of those with you, because it's going to get hot, especially by the time 6 o'clock hits. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be humid, and it's going to be 97 degrees. So you need to keep those cooling mechanisms with you to help you out, especially in the heat. And then we got to talk about the rain chances the next couple of days. So this is when we start to see rain chances increase. And I was talking about no rain, no rain, no rain. Here's your rain. Here's your rain starting to come through around Sunday and then going on into our 4th of July holiday. So make sure you're keeping in mind of that and watching the radar, because they'll trickle in around Friday and Saturday. This weekend, we're going to start to see some rain develop, especially in West Texas, and then it'll start to move and trickle over into us. By Monday, we could see some showers. So if you are heading out and traveling for the 4th of July weekend, make sure you're being monitored on that. Maybe take some extra time with you so you're not rushing where you're going, because a couple of us are going to see some showers start to pop in here and there. And then on Tuesday, I know that's 4th of July, we'll stay mostly dry, but we'll get a chance to see some showers pop up, and that's why I wanted to just point that out on your travel forecast. So for the 4th of July weekend, just so you can know before you go, Sunday, if you're starting to head out there, well, you will have scattered showers, and it'll be warm still. Don't think that those temperatures are going anywhere. It'll be warm still, about the mid-90s, and we have those isolated scattered showers. So hopefully that can cool us off just a bit. And by the time Monday hits, partly cloudy and scattered storms and mid-90 temperatures again. And then on the 4th of July, we get a little bit cooler at the low 90s, 91, and we could also see a chance for those scattered showers to come about. So again, enjoy your weekend and enjoy the next week that we have going into Independence Day. Make sure you're safe. Bring that water with you. Hydrate, 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 because it's super important. But thank you for tuning in to CBS 19 Plus.